Doing it. Okay, back cox's arm is down. Jack, one more time.
Hands are up by the coxers. They're telling the umpire they're not quite straight. Hands going down.
Attention! Go!
Out they get cleanly, both crews. We are starting this battle. Who is going to triumph in the PE today?
Snappy, dynamic starts from both crews. We've seen throughout this regatta and previous editions, a lot of the international crews go out really hard. They try their best to end the race as early as possible. And maybe Saugatuck there in shot have got one eye on trying to scare Shiplake a little bit. But Shiplake known for their fast starting. They've got great technique in this boat, really well coached by Dave Curry and Hugh Matworth-Brady. You can see there, Jess, that's a few seats already to Shiplake, a really, really powerful opening exchange.
Yeah, they're not messing around there. They've got out the start hard and fast. And they look very competitive here as we coming past the end of the island. Relaxed face there. The stroke man, Isaac Dean. Looks like he's barely trying.
Yeah, that's what you want from the guy in the stroke, right? You want him to be laying down that rhythm, transposing what the coach and the cox are telling you and making sure that everybody else behind him just follows in sequence. It's a sequential thing rowing through an 8, and you want the stroke to be as relaxed in the shoulders, in the legs as possible, so he can just make sure that that rhythm passes down through the crew. But Shiplake flying, really, really impressive here, and they're one of my crews to watch through the regatta. They've often struggled to translate their speed from the winter into the summer, but starting to put that to bed with some really strong performances, both at the National Schools Regatta, but also here on the Henley Straits.
Definitely give themselves a target on their backs, winning a silver medal in the Champ Aids and National Schools, so we know they're fast. They're one of the crews to watch. Radley might tell me for that, they got the bronze medal.
It's okay, Radley raced this morning, they're not listening. I'll tell you one thing though, Jess, it's see Saugatuck here in shot. It's really gratifying since the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup opened up its roster to clubs. It's really wonderful to see so many US clubs meeting the call straight away, coming over, wanting to try themselves against the very best that the British have to offer. And in sort of conversely to that, it's great to see that the schoolboys in the UK are still leading the way, are still the gold standard in schoolboy rowing. I think we've seen a real demonstration of that over the past decade, with so many international winners up until about the middle part of last decade, and now we've had a run basically of sort of 6 or 7 uninterrupted years of UK success in this event. So it's going to take a really, really strong crew to unseat the likes of Shiplake.
Look down the Shiplake crew there. Saugatuck won't let them go. They've got pedigree, this American crew. They've been up there, they've all raced ahead of the Charles. They were second ahead of the Charles this year. They know how to race as a crew. They'll have that tight rhythm as a unit. But maybe when they looked at the list this morning and saw they were against Shiplake College, is that a bit of a blow when you're looking down the list?
Yeah, they won't have been thrilled with that as a draw, because there would certainly have been easier, potentially, routes to the Friday than that. But look, we were having this discussion earlier in the week about difficult early draws, having to meet some of the best crews early on in the regatta. If you want to win the event, you've got to beat these guys at some point anyway. So from a Saugatuck perspective, I don't think they can have too many complaints. But Shiplake here, I think your point about Isaac Dean in the stroke seat is astute, Jess, because he looks so composed. I mean, he's 17 and he just looks like he's in complete control of that entire 8. I can totally see why Dave and Hugh have put him in the stroke seat.
Yeah, what are the qualities you're looking for somebody in that stroke seat?
I think it's like I said, you want dynamism, you want someone who doesn't get rattled very easily. You want somebody who's able to translate from the cox through the rest of the crew, and Isaac here showing exactly what it takes to stroke a schoolboy crew. He's looked in control right from the off. And actually at this level, when the maturity maybe isn't as high as some of the student, club, intermediate, open events that we see, you want as much, I guess, maturity, but also a sort of development in that stroke seat. So I think for Isaac, he's showing us here, putting on a clinic on how to stroke an 8.
And it's still close. This crew from America have not let them go. They'll still be feeling the pressure of your Shiplake, but that maybe shows their pedigree, that they're feeling confident. They're coming in through past the Remnant Club. This is into the final third of the race. Looking strong as we look at Saugatuck now. Aggressive into that water. You have to be in these big boats, don't you?
Yeah, aggressivity is certainly part of the formula. I guess it's really hard at Henley when one crew breaks clear of the other to find the physical and mental resolve to regain terms, because rowing is one of these peculiar sports where you're facing backwards, so not only can you not see your opposition, you can't really hear them anymore, despite sort of the distant calls of cocks. So from Saugatuck's perspective, it's going to take something pretty extraordinary for them to overthrow Shiplake from here. I just think the way Shiplake are rowing, they are so well drilled. Every time I watch them, I just think that the technical proficiency on board is perhaps amongst the best that the UK has to offer, and they're showing every inch of that here. But coming back to Saugatuck, I mean, look, they were the second crew from the schoolboy aids at the head of the Charles. You can see there, Richard Phelps just warning Shiplake to make sure that they stay on their station, and that's just an interesting little nuance there. Montgomery Walker in the coxing seat for Shiplake, just adjusting their line slightly. They haven't got enough of an advantage there, Jess, to maybe push out into the middle, and I think Richard just keeping tabs on that Shiplake crew, making sure they're respecting the lanes that we sort of have to intangibly visualise here on the screen.
Both crews getting a bit of a warning there. Richard's just trying to keep them apart. You do not want to clash here at Henley. I mean, there's the threat of the clash of the booms. You see those white posts alongside the crews? They've actually got wooden booms in between them to keep the lane. But down the middle, as Tom was saying, there's nothing separating the crews apart from themselves. So you don't want to clash into either one of those sides.
Well, it's also every time you have to sort of pull on that rudder, it slows the boat down a bit. It unsettles the rhythm, it unsettles the sort of feel and run of that boat. So ideally, you want as straight along as possible.
They're putting on some real pressure now. These last couple of hundred metres, Shiplake have got one length. The Saugatuck are keeping the momentum and then closing this gap. I think Shiplake have done enough through the start of this race, through the middle of this race, to just have that little bit of ease as they come towards the finish line, and they are going to cross the line first. A slight bit of overlap by Saugatuck, and it's a real big blow in the PE. It's a big win for Shiplake College. Princess Elizabeth Cup over Saugatuck Rowing Club, USA, and others will be looking at that.